Friends, you are familiar with three types of drama: tragedy, comedy, and tragicomedy. So, contemporary theatre has adopted three kinds of plays. Some plays are tragic, some plays are comic, and some plays are mixture of both, and they are known as tragicomedy. But Bharat Muni in his Natya Shastra describes 10 types of plays under the heading Dasha-Rupa Vikalpan. The term Rup or Rupak is used for play, as primarily it is visual representation. The term Rup as applied to drama indicates the visual and spectacular aspect of the presentation, and Rupak implies the art form which carries the dramatist meaning to the audience through the process of superimposition and identification. The dramatic composition through which a dramatist creates the characters, situations, actions, and emotions is a kind of superimposition. The actor identifies himself with the character as far as possible, which is also a superimposition and temporary identification. The spectators also superimpose the image and personality of a dramatic character on the actor and identifies with him. Hence, in Bharata's theory, the term Rupaka is preferred as an equivalent of drama and not the current popular term Nataka, which is for Bharat one kind of 10 dramatic patterns of composition, that is to say, Rupaka. Now you must be eager to know these 10 types of Rupaka. I will enumerate for you: Nataka, Prakarana, Unka or Utsrushtikanka, Vyayog, Bhana, Samavakar, Vithi, Prahasan, Nima, and Ihamruga. According to Bharat, Vritti is the basis on which these different forms are recognized, while for Dhananjay, these forms are classified on the basis of plot. Neta means hero and rasa. So now we will discuss 10 types of Rupak one by one. Nataka, a very well-known story for its plot, actions and activities of a well-known person in a well-known place in this land of ours, namely Bharata. A well-known exalted hero, either Dhirodatta, Dhiralalita, Dhira Prashant or Dhirodhat. Life and actions fit for a hero born in a sage-like royal family for the theme, with divinities in a helping role. Divine hero should appear in the human form. Story endowed with the splendor of the goals of human life, material prosperity, and pleasures of love and the actions of the hero's opponent. Division of the dramatic plot into a number of acts, Unka, 5 to 10, and use of introductory or linking scenes, Praveshaka, in the construction. The plot is developed properly through the 5 stages, Karyavastha, the beginning, Prarambha, efforts, Prayatna, hope of gaining the aim, Praptyasha, certainty, Niyatapti, and securing the aim, Phalagama. Bharat has also discussed about the Anka. The part of the play is fully expressed, but the jump of the plot, beach, is not wholly disposed of in the act. The act should not be too long, and at the end of it, all characters should leave the stage. An act should cover the action that can happen in the course of a single day. When the incidents that are to be finished in the course of a single day cannot be accommodated in one act, they should be presented in an interlude, Praveshaka, after closing the act. Incidents that may take place in the course of a month or a year are also to be described through Praveshaka. But the time element should not exceed a period of 1 year. Actions of anger, favor and grief, the end of curse, flight, marriage, commencement of miracle, and its appearance should be directly presented in the act. But the battle, loss of kingdom, death, siege of a city should be presented through Praveshaka and not by direct representation. The death of the hero should never take place. Either his escape, capture, or trace should be effected. When in an act any person goes out on business to a distant land, it should be indicated after closing the act by Praveshaka. In Praveshaka, the conversation of the attendants should be in Prakrit. The attendants or the followers of the hero should be 4 or 5. The exalted situation should come in the later part of the play. The Adbhuta Rasa should find place at the conclusion of all the plays. The second type of Rupak is Prakarana. The Prakaran type has its dramatic plot, the entire dramatic construction, and the hero created by his own creative power by the poet. The creative or inventive construction gives the name to the type. Since a complete invention may not be possible, a dramatic plot not derived from the works of ancient sages, but taken from folk tales or earlier poets, but equipped with new qualities and enlarged, modified, or altered with creative imagination, is also a newly created and motivated plot. The story is endowed with splendor of goals of human life, material prosperity, pleasures of love, actions of the hero's opponent. The plot is suitably developed through act, interludes, or linking scenes, and it will show activities connected with different sentiments and emotions leading to the experience of pleasure and sorrow. This is a characteristics the Prakaran shares with the Natak. The principal character in a Prakaran is a Brahmin, a family priest, a merchant, an importer of commercial goods, an official minister, or a royal councillor. The life and conduct charit of one of these forms the subject of a prakarana. Thus, the hero is never a king. Characters like Das, servant, Vita, parasite, and courtesans would have a place here. The heroine of prakarana will be either a woman from a high family, Kulastri, or a woman from the courtesan's locality, Veshstri. There should be supporting scene in brief in Sanskrit with middling characters similar to Praveshaka. It may present middling characters or both middling and inferior characters. In between the two acts, Praveshak should also be used. It has no divine element nor kingly luxury. The third kind of Rupak is Samvakar. The story or the theme of Samvakar is concerned with the means of obtaining the desired objective worthy of gods and asuras. The heroes are celebrated, well known, and the exalted, Uddhata. Thus, well-known gods and demons constitute the characters of Samvakar. There are totally 12 kinds of heroes. The number of acts is 3, with each having for its subject or content deception, flight or excitement, vidrav, and love, shringar, each of 3 kinds, separate for every act. Means there are 3 kinds of kapat, 3 kinds of vidrav, and 3 kinds of shringar. Now first we will discuss 3 kinds of kapat. Deception. Deception are due to devised plan. Secondly, luck, chance or accident. And third, enemy's strategy causing joy or sorrow. 3 kinds of excitements, vidrav, are first, due to battle and flood. Second, caused by storm, fire and big elephant. And the third one is siege of the city. In the same manner, there are 3 kinds of love, shringar. The 3 kinds of shringar are dharma shringar, artha shringar, and kama shringar. When a hero obtains the coveted heroine due to religious merit, dharma of religious vows, fasts, penance, etc., or his obtaining the Nayika results in religious merit like that of a sacrificial performance with the wife's association, it is dharma shringar. Similarly, when material wealth, earth is the cause or result of obtaining the Nayika, it is artha shringar. And when pleasure of love, calm, mutual attraction and love of man and woman for one another is the driving force, it is kama shringar, or love inspired by desire and passion, either in a concealed manner or openly and boldly. The 3 acts are to be constructed in a particular manner. The first act has the duration of 12 nadikas. Nadika means 4 hours and 48 minutes and contains laughter as it has love due to passion, excitement, deception and viti. The second act is similar in nature and has the duration of 4 nadikas. The third act that brings the play to the end has the duration of 2 nadikas. The acts should have different incidents that are loosely related. It has less scope for the display of Kaishikivatti. In fact, Sambachar as play of action and dialogue will be dominated by Bharti and Arbhati Vritti. The fourth kind of Rupaka is Ihamruga. The theme of Ihamruga is abduction of a celestial Divya woman and fight or war consequent on such a happening. The heroes are also celestial men, Divya Purusha, and the play abounds in bold and arrogant man, Uddhata Purusha. The plot is well knit and convincing and has its construction based on feminine anger. It has commotion, sankshobha, excitement, vidrava, and angry conflict, sampheta. The plot of love, Shringar, is based on causing discord among women and carrying them off and oppressing the enemies. In spite of fight or battle as the main action, anger on the part of the hero for the abduction and punishment Avamardan deserved by the opponent, the actual killing and death of opponent and his partisans is not to be shown. The fight is to be brought to a close with some pretext like the enemies taking to flight. When the killing of persons is about to take place, the battle should be avoided by some article. The fifth kind of Rupaka is known as Nima. The plot and story of the dramatic type Deem is well known, that is to say, based on a celebrated myth or legend established in tradition. Its hero is well known, Prakhyat, and of an exalted kind, Uddat. Actually, the dramatic plot is elaborate, complex, and varied, and the play has 16 heroes that figure in its various episodes. It is full of characters like gods, Naga, demons, yakshas, and goblins. Deem has 4 acts, and it is to be constructed so as to have such elements as earthquake, fall of meteors or lightning, eclipses of sun and moon, and such details as fight, duel, niyuddha, challenges for combat, agharshana, angry exchange of words or verbal fights, sampheta. The action of the play will also use magic, illusion, introduction of artificially manufactured things like puppets and effigies, pusta, on a very large scale. Deem will have all the 6 rasas except Shringar and Hasya. The Deepta rasa, that is the vigorous, impetuous sentiments, Raudra and Veer will dominate. The rich variety of happening will provide occasion for a display of almost all emotional states. The styles are Satvati and Arvati with many states. The sixth kind of Rupak is Vyayoga. The story of Vyayog has to be well known, Prachar, that is established as a Puranic legend or history or traditional tale. Its principal event will be combat, duel, fighting, challenge of fierce competition for superiority, etc. The hero is similarly well known. Only the hero does not happen to be God, nor a king, nor a celebrated sage. By contrast, it has few female characters. The nature of the story dominates the sentiments to be used. It will be a composition marked by vigor and power of poetic style, and will use the vigorous sentiments like Veer and Raudra. It is one act play showing action of a single day. The next one is Utashrushtikang or Unka. The theme and plot of Utashrushtikang may be well known, or it will do if it were not well known. It will not have celestial man, but the other kind of man should figure in it. And these men would be such as have turned away from fight and rush or impetuous attacks. What it will show will be the profusion of women's lament, their talk of renouncing or giving up life, and such activities of sorrow as falling down, wallowing on the ground, etc. It is evident that the Karuna Ras will dominate this play. It will have no scope for Satvati, Arbhati or Kaishiki Vritti. The sorrow and lament will be conveyed by Bharati Vritti, that is to say, through speeches and utterances accompanied by acts of misery. It is implied that this kind of play will have one act. Now we will discuss about Prahasana. Prahasana is a dramatic form which evokes laughter, which is full of hasya. It employs as its plot or story such conduct, achar, as fraud and hypocrisy, dambha, as is well known among people, varta, and which is in keeping with or familiar to general behavior of society, lokopachar. It contains such laughter-provoking statements as give an impression of being extremely opposed to or inconsistent with the character posed by an hypocrite ascetic or bohemian youth. It has two forms, the pure, Shuddha, and the mixed, Sankirna. The Shuddha Prahasan is made with such character as sannyasi, an ascetic, or a person in the third stage of life, a Brahmin, and Buddhist monks and others. It is woven with laughable or ridiculous utterances. These characters are lowly, reprehensible in their thoughts and ideas, behavior and action. Their dialogue is full of laughter and ridicule, but Their language and behavior are not untruthful or vulgar and obscene. The story shows the life and conduct of the definite person in its spoilt and laughable aspect, and the portions of the plot are made up with appropriate transitory mental states. The mixed kind of prahasana, Sankirna prahasana, uses such characters as courtesans, low servants, eunuchs, bohemians, rogues, and procuresses or harlots. The form assumes a mixed character as it presents these characters in immodest dress, gaudy accessories, and accompaniments and unrestrained activities. In the composition of prahasana, the vithi anga, as described later on, are to be used as possible as desired. It is generally speaking a one-act play. The next one is bhana. Bhana is a monologue in one act. It is presented by a single character. That's why it's known as Ekaharya, a rogue, a wit, who narrates either his own experiences consisting of a number of wild activities or describes particularly the varied activities of others. The mode of narration and description is Akash Bhashita. The wit imagines the character or characters to be present in the void of stage and pretends to see and hear them and utters their statements himself, asks them questions and reproduces their answers. Thus, in a series of questions and answers, both uttered by him, the wit gives the spectators an impression of an actual conversation conducted and an event actually taking place off stage using the dramatic device of Akash Bhashita and the mode of narration and description. He does not merely speak, he acts his narration and description with appropriate physical gestures, movements and actions. Angavikar Abhinaya. The last Rupak is known as Vithi. A Vithi has one act. It is presented by one character or two characters of three types: superior, middling and inferior. It has characteristics of all rasas. It has 13 limbs or parts with which it is built. They are as follows: Udghatyak, accidental interpretation. The words with obscure meaning are connected by man with the words other than those intended by the speaker in order to explain them. The second one is Avalakita, transference. When something occurring in relation to anything is made to accomplish something else. The third, Avaspandita, omnious significance. When auspicious or inauspicious meaning of the word is grasped, it is explained otherwise skillfully. Asat pralap, incoherent chatter. Even though the learned speaks what is beneficial in the company of fools, it is not accepted as such. Prapancha, compliment. The untrue words of mutual praise of two are uttered in the interest of one, creating laughter. Nalika, enigma. The sportive answers are given to deceive the other. Vakakeli, repartee. When a single or more striking replies are there. Adhibala, course of a dialogue lead to their mutual modification. Chal, the words having different meanings create anger and laughter. Vyahar, declaration. Anything liable to occur is described vividly in the presence of the hero with a sense of little laughter. Brudava, crushing. With proper reasons, the merits are turned into defects and vice versa in repartee. Trigata, three man's talk. Due to similarity of words, many meanings are connected skillfully in it by means of modification, etc., or it is conversation among the three. Ganda, undue combination of words. It is the undue combination of words due to excitement, confusion, quarrel, or reviling. It consists of many words of abusive type. So, this is all about the 13 Vithi Anga